when you start the last rally of the season and you know everything will be decided here, it's very important.
It is something I've always dreamed of since I was a kid.
You will take some risk and you can lose everything at each moment, but you have to do it.
No, that's my life, always speed. This is always what I wanted to do. It would be really great to kind of get on the top and make all my dreams come true.
I know that one of me and Mikko will be disappointed at the end of the weekend.
It is the most important rally that I ever had, so it's going to be a big weekend.
This is it. After 11 rallies across the globe, 220 stages, 3,800 kilometres, it all comes down to the next 16 stages at the Rally of Great Britain. It's Hirvonen versus Loeb for the Drivers' Championship. They're separated by just 1 point. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better. I mean, this for the spectators this weekend is just going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, this is how it should be. Like now it's just between us and Loeb, and we don't need to think about teammates or anyone else in this rally.
There won't be any strategy, just flat out, and the one who is winning who will be the best.
It's exciting for everybody, not for the crew, because you know what you do. It's not easy.
A little bit nervous, a little bit excited, but anyway, I have to show everybody I'm still calm, but it's not easy for me.
It's a final shootout. Whoever wins here wins the championship.
Fasten your seatbelt and flat out.
So who is going to win? This is the tale of the tape. Loeb has 6 wins this season to Mikko's 4, but all Mikko's wins have been on gravel, the surface they're competing on in Great Britain, while just 3 of Seb's victories are on the loose. And they each have 1 win in Great Britain, so what is going to make the difference?
Special rally with a weather condition, it can be very difficult, very tricky, very difficult to do 300 km flat out without any mistake. So it's a lot of things to think to, but we will have to take this risk, I think.
I think it's going to be really close all the way through, and like always, conditions are very tricky, so we have to be in the limit all the way through. But if you just manage to go without any small mistake or anything, you know, that might be it.
I hope it will be a direct fight, and I just hope I win.
And the difference between success and outright failure here is tiny. So what a climax to the season, and we'll be looking back at the key moments in this campaign and some other memorable moments from 2009 later in the programme. One man who knows how to win the championship in Great Britain is Petter Solberg. You can also hear his thoughts on the 2009 battle and his WRC future. And this is where it's all happening. The Rally of Great Britain is still taking place in Wales, but this year everything is based in the capital city, Cardiff. But many of the classic stages remain, so look out for the likes of Riola, Ronda and Halfway. Here's a reminder of the standings. Mikko Hirvonen on 84 points and Loeb on 83 in the Drivers' Championship. Should they end up tied on points, Seb would win due to his greater number of victories. And those wins, along with the performances of Dani Sordo, means that Citroën wraps up the Manufacturers' Championship at the last round in Spain. This is all about the Drivers' title. And the final chapter of this momentous season started on Thursday evening at the ceremonial start. The Cardiff city centre location attracted thousands of fans who will be relishing this battle between the 2 heavyweights of the WRC. The serious action started the following morning, and here are some more details of what's ahead. For day 1, the crews will be heading north to mid-Wales. The 6 stages wind their way around the Cambrian Mountains. Hafren, at just over 32 kilometres, is the biggest test, while Iherin measures nearly 28. They are separated by the short Sweet Lamb stage. They will be all run twice. That's a total distance of 130 kilometres. The time for talking is over. The 16 stages ahead will decide the outcome of the 2009 World Rally Championship, and with plenty of rain in the build-up to the event, these are typically wet and muddy Rally GB conditions. Championship leader Mikko Hirvonen is the first to take on the 32 kilometres of Hafren. A Classic British stage here, fast and flowing on a wet, muddy surface. With one win each in the Forests of Wales, this championship race between Mikko and Loeb really is too close to call. The pressure on both men is huge, and for Hirvonen, this is the first time he's faced a down-to-the-wire championship fight. Not so for the five-time world champion Sebastian Loeb. It's the biggest threat to his reign as the world's greatest rally driver, and the last time he faced a final round showdown this close, the Frenchman was beaten to the title by Petter Solberg in 2003. Another man who'll be hoping to fight for the rally victory is Jari-Matti Latvala, but he's in trouble already. It's a frustrating start for Jari-Matti. A broken left front drive shaft sees him losing a lot of time in stage one. Thankfully for Latvala's Ford teammate Hirvonen, though, his Ford Focus is still fully functioning. The Finn is well on his way into this spectacular Hafren stage, and let's take a first look at the crucial fight between Mikko and Loeb now using virtual spectator. Approaching the 6.3 kilometre split time, Hirvonen was ahead. 0.7 of a second up on Loeb there. Moving on to the marker after 23.5 kilometres though, and Citroen's number one has fought back. Seb 3.8 seconds ahead at that point. Mikko needs a response then in this last 9 kilometres or so. The championship leader giving it everything here in this muddy finish to Hafren. The stage is cleared. Let's have a word with the first of the title rivals.
It wasn't, bad start for me. It came pretty well, but few places straight away when you hesitate just a bit or go a little bit wide, there's no room for that. But now the fight has started.
Mikko not sounding overly confident there. Back in the stage, meanwhile, Loeb's attacking as hard as he dares on these slippery roads. It's the first of 16 mini battles between these two men who've been so evenly matched all season. Has Seb been able to maintain his early momentum? He's quicker, but not by much. Loeb leads by 1.7 seconds. With Loeb and Hirvonen focused on beating each other, Sebastian's teammate Dani Sordo is free to fight for his first ever victory in Wales. It's a solid start for the Spaniard, but he's already over 13 seconds behind Loeb's impressive time. Petter Solberg is representing the Citroën Junior team, and as a 4-time winner of Rally GB, it's little surprise he's setting a strong pace in his first gravel rally in the C4. The Norwegian is 4th fastest, just 0.8 of a second behind Sordo in stage 1. The championship rivals lead the way though. After the opening 32 kilometres, Latvala lost around a minute in that stage. The short blast through Sweetlam is next, followed by the 28 kilometres of Mai Herrin. And Mikko has been second best to Sebastian so far. Hirvonen perhaps too cautious in these early stages of this crucial rally. It's still very wet and muddy in places, and Hirvonen is clearly fearful of making a mistake on these slippery roads. Loeb now knows his Formula 1 race debut in Abu Dhabi will not happen after the FIA refused to grant him a super licence, so the Frenchman is free to concentrate on rallying, and he's quickest again in stages 2 and 3. He's 6 seconds quicker than Mikko through Mai Herrin. A frustrated Jari-Matti Latvala, meanwhile, has been reduced to crawling through these stages after breaking a drive shaft in stage 1. The problems also led to him losing his front brakes, and he spun as well. The Ford Focus clearly proving very difficult to handle at the moment. With Latvala hemorrhaging time, he does the honourable thing and pulls over with Petter Solberg fast approaching. Petter safely passed, but he's not quite been able to match the searing pace of the championship rivals. He's still adapting to the C4 with impressive ease though. Petter passes Sordo for 3rd on the second test, but relinquished his position to the Spaniard in stage 3. Behind the top 4, Sébastien Ogier is 5th, while Henning Solberg moved up to 6th in those 2 stages. But out front, Sébastien Loeb's making a clear statement of intent, his lead nearly 9 seconds. The drivers arriving at the remote service park up in Bilth Wells. Hirvonen urgently needs to plan a response to prevent Loeb from opening up a bigger lead.
Maybe I think I was pushing too hard and really tried to force myself to make a good time, and I just ended up some places too cautious, braking a little bit too early, and then like hairpins and slow corners just went wide many times, so it just hasn't been a good, clean drive.
I'm pushing very hard on the maximum because I just try to take the lead in the morning. We've done it at the moment, but we have to be on the limit everywhere, and that's not easy in this kind of roads.
One interested spectator is former England and Newcastle footballing legend Alan Shearer. A guest of Ford, the Premier League's record goalscorer, got to ride with Jari-Matti Latvala at Shakedown on Thursday.
It's fantastic. What an experience. God, you're inches away from death, I think. So it's you'd never ever imagine it was anything like that. But no, I've been pleased I've done it. What a great experience.
And Alan will be paying close attention to the battle for the Drivers' Championship, which continues after this break. Sebastian Loeb and Mikko Hirvonen are separated by just 1 point coming into the final round of the World Championship, and they are first and second on the opening day of Rally GB. But we didn't think it was going to be this close in the early part of the season, as Loeb won the first 5 events on the Irish tarmac, the Norwegian snow, the tarmac and gravel of Cyprus, and the gravel of Portugal and Argentina. Some were already predicting a clean sweep for the Citroën driver. And when Mikko's engine blew when battling with Seb in Argentina, it looked like the Finn was thinking that as well.
Where'd you go from here?
I think I'm just gonna go back hotel, have a beer.
But Lady Luck was about to switch sides. A damaged tyre and a 2-minute penalty in Sardinia meant Seb was beaten by Mikko for the first time. And Seb followed this with the biggest off of his career in Greece. Mikko took maximum advantage, claiming the 10 points. The fight back had started. Seb makes few mistakes, so the rally world was left speechless when he followed this with an opening day blunder in Poland, courtesy of a hidden tree stump. He could only finish 7th, while Mikko won again on these super fast stages and took the lead in the championship. And Mikko was fastest again in Finland. Beating Loeb on the most challenging event of them all, he proved he was a genuine contender. He was outdriven and outthought though by his rival at the all-new Rally Australia, but in another dramatic reversal of fortune, Mikko's second place would become first when, due to a paperwork error, Loeb's C4 was deemed to have run with an illegal anti-roll bar link. As expected, Loeb took victory at round 11 in Spain, but with Mikko in third, he retained the championship lead by just that single point. Back out to the stages in Wales now, and while the weather has improved, the morning rain has ensured these daunting roads will still be incredibly slippery. It's been a worrying start for Mikko Hirvonen. While his erratic performance this morning was understandable with a championship at stake, the Finn needs to calm down and find his rhythm if he's to stop Loeb building up an unassailable lead. Sebastian is waiting his turn back on the start line. This really is an incredible battle of wills between the world's 2 best rally drivers, and on these super fast roads, Loeb is again in full attack mode. All but a small mistake here from the world champion. It was only a slight misjudgment under braking, but in such a finely poised battle, moments like that could prove costly. An interesting fight is developing for third between Dani Sordo and Petter Solberg. Sordo has the edge at the moment, but started stage 4 just 3.4 seconds ahead. Back to Hirvonen, and he is looking extremely quick in this first repeated stage. If anything, it's more slippery than it was in the morning, but it hasn't mattered to Mikko. He set a very impressive time in Hafren.
A lot more slippier than in the morning, so it's very difficult, but no, it's okay. So hopefully I can carry on now with this like this.
A more confident sounding Hirvonen there, and with Loeb already slipping up, he'll struggle to maintain his stage-winning run here. He's already slower. 4.9 seconds down, Loeb's advantage has been halved, and the Frenchman will not be a happy man.
Couldn't do better. I think road conditions are getting very slippery after the first car for me, because I had really a good drive and no chance to do anything. So maybe a bit understeering also, but we didn't change so much the setting, and not possible at the moment.
The fight at the front continues to hold the attention, as does the intriguing battle for third. Petter Solberg has next to no experience of rallying on gravel in the C4, but despite his clear disadvantage, Petter's already more than matching Sordo's speed. He closes up to within 2 seconds of Danny in stage 4. So Hirvonen claims his first stage win then, and has closed the gap to Loeb to just 4 seconds. Let's move straight on to the final 2 stages of the day.
That's where we are at the moment with this.
Loeb was soundly beaten in stage 4, but his bad run in Hafren has brought out the best in the 5-times world champion. Seb is responding immediately in the tight technical Sweet Lamb stage. It's a real fan's favourite, and Loeb is hurling the C4 through the crests and water splashes here. The stage is only 5 kilometres long, but even so, Seb claws back another 2.4 seconds from Hirvonen. Mikko rolled out of the rally in Sweet Lamb last year, so caution was understandable. But in the first day's final stage in Meijeren, Hirvonen is once again completely committed. The Finn claims a psychologically crucial fastest time in stage 6, pulling back another second on his great rival. The relentless fight for the Rally Lead and World Championship is showing no sign of easing up then, and it's a similar story in the tussle for third. Petter Solberg started stage 5 just 1.9 seconds behind Sordo, and he does enough to reclaim the position in Sweet Lamb. Experience winning over youth at the moment then, and Sordo is a little slower again through Meijeren. He ends the day just 1.1 seconds behind Petter. That battle is set to continue into the second leg. Sebastian Ogier in 5th, meanwhile, has already built up a cushion of almost a minute over Petter's older brother Henning, and the Frenchman will be relieved he has that safety margin. He's picked up a puncture, the right rear is down to the rim, and he's losing a lot of time. Henning Solberg will know Ogier is struggling. He pushes hard but can't quite close the gap. The Norwegian ends the day just under 9 seconds behind Ogier. The leaderboard at the end of the first day is completed by Matt Wilson and Conrad Rautenbach. It's tied at the top with Loeb leading Hirvonen by just over 5 seconds. But as they return to service, it sounds like Mikko has experienced a similar problem to Latvala.
Heard you had a little scare on the way back to service though.
Yeah, we were really lucky. I think we have a wheel bearing or drive shaft problem as well. And it started to be worse and worse just before the service, and I was driving very slowly. But I can just, bring the car in one piece back to service. So if that happened on the stage, we would have lost the fight.
And with the Ford Focus driven by Abu Dhabi's Khalid Al Qasimi forced to retire with a similar drive shaft issue, it looks like the team could have a big problem. Can Hirvonen survive day 2? Find out after the break. Welcome back. Mikko Hirvonen begins day 2 of Rally GB, 5.3 seconds behind championship rival Sebastian Loeb, but he ended the first day with a drive shaft problem similar to that which had affected his Ford teammates. Mikko's engineers have decided to replace the 2 front corners of his Focus. They have just 15 minutes to complete the job.
The fact that it happened to Mikko in stage 6 rather than in stage 1 or 2, we were very, very lucky. We've made a few DIY tries and a few alterations and things that we believe would be an improvement, and that's why we've changed the corners on Mikko this morning, and we just have to hope that that it's better. If we had a life, we've burned it now, so we have to get on with it.
Day 2 is the longest of the rally at just over 138 kilometres, and this includes the 35.7 kilometre Ronda stage. This hasn't been run since 2004, so will be new to many drivers. Correct pace notes will be crucial here, as they will be in Krikken, which has some brand new sections. Halfway is the same stage that was run in 2007. Like on day 1, the crews will tackle these stages twice. Another critical day ahead then in the championship race, and with the rain still falling, Rally GB is again providing its familiar challenging conditions. Rally leader Sebastian Loeb is the first to take on the sodden roads of Ronda. The fight is as close as we'd expected. Citroën's record-breaking Frenchman begins the morning just 5.3 seconds ahead of his title rival Hirvonen. And just look at the surface here, Loeb slipping and sliding his way through. Mikko is not far behind, and he'll hope to continue the good form he showed on the first afternoon. The championship fight is back underway. Well, co-driver Jarmo Lehtinen sounding a bit hoarse there. These are absolutely horrendous conditions, and certainly not ideal when you consider how hard these two men have to push. Setting a good time is vital, but just keeping the car on the road looks a challenge in itself. The other fight to keep an eye on today is that for third between Dani Sordo and this man, Petter Solberg, who begins just 1.1 seconds ahead. The Norwegian, though, had a problem with his wipers on the way to the stage and dared turn them onto full speed in case they stop altogether. It's far from ideal, and Petter certainly has a fight on his hands to hold on to third. The pace of the two championship protagonists, meanwhile, is again very close, although it's Hirvonen who seems to have the edge through the early kilometres of Ronda. Loeb seems to have some debris under his windscreen wiper. That's going to be a very unwelcome distraction and won't help his visibility. He's through the stage okay, but that's not the start Seb was hoping for on this second morning.
The stage was really difficult. It was raining a lot. I put it away, but I get a piece of spray in the wiper. All the stage, after 5 kilometers, I get it, and all the stage I didn't see clearly. So it was a bit. I wanted to finish the stage. It was too tricky. I didn't drive so well.
Loeb looking a bit rattled, so a possible opportunity for Hirvonen to make further inroads into the Frenchman's advantage. Jarmo Lehtinen still not sounding too well, which can't be making things any easier for Mikko. Nevertheless, it's a great time. He's 2.4 seconds quicker, and now just 2.9 behind overall.
There's been a little bit of niggling in the back of your mind with this drive shaft problem from yesterday.
If that happens, it happens. I can't help it, so I'm just going flat out and see how it goes.
Back in the stage, Petter Solberg still pushing hard despite his problems with his wipers. The Norwegian historically does well in wet, muddy conditions, but he has been struggling in here. And Dani Sordo has a real chance to take advantage. The Spaniard could make it back into third place here. Yes, he's smashed the struggling Solberg's effort. Dani is back in front, now over 19 seconds ahead. Behind the top four, Sébastien Ogier is still fifth, Henning Solberg sixth, but at the top, Loeb's lead is reduced to less than 3 seconds. Petter Solberg's falling back, but he will be eager to get on that podium. Petter's 2 previous podiums this season came in a 4-year-old Citroën Zara. Solberg is now relishing having a C4 at his disposal. He's determined to end this year on a high, crossing swords with Dani Sordo in Wales. We caught up with him before the rally to find out what next year holds for the 2003 world champion.
Only reason to drive next year is not just to be a part of it, is to fight for the world championship, you know. And with the right equipment and right support from the manufacturers I drive for, that you need to have if you're going to fight for the championship, then I think we have a good possibility. You know. My dream is to come in the factory team again, of course, you know. But with my team and how it's working very well. I'm very happy with all the people we have, and we run it as a proper factory team, you know. So I have experience for many years already from a factory team, so I know the differences, so it's good.
The team has been such a success that the WRC rumour mill is running flat out, with high-profile names Marcus Grönholm and F1 star Kimi Räikkönen linked with the Norwegian team for 2010.
I would love to have Marcus in the team with me. You know what? I have to focus on my own budget and everything to get my ready first. But what Kimi is doing, I just think I think we should just be happy that he wants to do some rallies, and if he's doing the Citroën or Ford or if I help him, it doesn't matter. You know, I just rumor is a rumor, and it spreads very quickly.
In 2003, Petter was a point behind Loeb at the start of the final event here in Wales. He went on to win and clinch the title, so he's in a position to offer advice to Mikko.
If Mikko is going to win it, he has to go maximum from the first meter, first stage. And if they're coming into a strategy plan and in a game, Sebastian will win. But Mikko, only a suggestion, just absolutely nail it. If this was me, I would adjust maximum, and that's it. You have one chance, and playing with some seconds there or whatever, it's very, very difficult, because last stage of the rally, you know, then you need some proper mental strength. Yeah, definitely.
With the pressure building, it's now Loeb who needs to find a response after his disappointing run in the Ronde stage and in the first pass through the tricky 15 kilometres of Krikken. He's looking like he's on the pace. Let's compare Loeb's time against Mikko's through the 11-kilometre split using Virtual Spectator. And this is looking like a devastating run by the 5-time world champion. Loeb a stunning 7 seconds ahead, and he completes the stage in 8 minutes 34.4 seconds. Hirvonen in trouble then. For some reason, despite beating Loeb in the opening test, he's really struggling to match Seb's speed in Krikken. Ford's number one is going to be a lot slower here. 10.2 seconds down. It really was an incredible display in there from Loeb, and that was a big, big blow for Mikko to take. And it doesn't get any better for the Finn in the following test. This time, he's slower than Loeb by almost 12 seconds, and the Finn's title hopes look to be in tatters.
Something is wrong. I'm not sure what, but it's just both stages, very good drive, but I mean, I just can't do any time. It's just not going anywhere, so I have to go to the service and have a look.
Yeah, you're happy with your driving and you're happy with the car, just not the times there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some places feels like it's not turning and it's oversteer, so it could be the drive shot, but it's, I don't know.
And there's more good news for Citroën, as Dani Sordo has also continued to thrive in these terrible conditions. The Spaniard even beats Hirvonen in both these stages, pulling further away from Petter Solberg. And out front, that poor run from Hirvonen has left him 25 seconds adrift of his championship rival Loeb, while a frustrating morning for Petter Solberg leaves him almost 24 seconds down on Sordo. Back at service in Cardiff, there's time for the championship contenders to reflect on their morning's work.
I was really angry after the first stage because I saw Mikko coming back to 2 seconds, so I said we have to do something, and then I started really on a maximum rhythm, and it has been okay.
It's sure to be a frenetic midday service at Ford as they frantically search to locate the source of Mikko's problems. They scour the computer data for any sign and change the suspension, brakes and drive shafts on all 4 corners of the Focus. They simply have to find a way of helping Mikko close the gap to Loeb.
We can't find a problem. We would obviously have really liked to have found something, because he's lost, quite a lot of time to Sebastian. I wish I could stand here and say that we've changed something and it's going to be different. But I'm being perfectly honest and saying that we haven't changed anything that we feel is going to make any difference.
Well, it's really a big difference now between me and Seb, so I just have to go for it. There's nothing else I can do, so you know, it's going to be very, very difficult to take that time all the time back by driving, but that's all I can do, so you know, we'll see.
Cardiff, the Welsh capital, is a fitting host to the WRC Grand Finale, as it's the 2009 European City of Sport, which recognises it as a centre of sporting excellence and good practice. The fabulous Millennium Stadium, previously a WRC stage, is a testimony to that. Cardiff Bay, where the service park is situated, is a demonstration of Cardiff's future. It's the location for many modern developments. But Cardiff is also a city of culture and history. The impressive castle dates back to around the year 1081, but the first settlement on this site is believed to be 2,000 years ago. Back out to the stages, and there's little sign of the rain easing off. And after his devastating display in the previous two tests, Sebastian Loeb will hope to strike another killer blow to Hirvonen's championship hopes. With the rain persisting, there's a lot of standing water around. The two title rivals need to keep pushing, but they also have to survive some very tricky sections in this second run through Ronda. Next into the stage is Mikko Hirvonen, and as he just said, he has little choice now but to give it absolutely everything. The Ford team seem confident there's nothing wrong with Mikko's car, and he looks to have everything under control in this slippery section. The telemetry showing a perfect balance of speed and control. After putting his frustrating morning behind him, meanwhile, Petter Solberg can set about clawing back some of his 24-second deficit on Dani Sordo. His early split times have looked very impressive. Oh, but he's lost it. It's still very slippery out there, and Petter just aquaplaned off the road. He seems to be stuck fast at the moment. The seconds are ticking past. It shows you how quickly a great time can become a bad one. More than 14 seconds have been lost, and that's not going to help his pursuit of Dani Sordo. Back at the front, meanwhile, Loeb has had to respond to a determined charge from Hirvonen. At one point, Seb was 3.6 seconds down in the splits. He has at least survived these waterlogged roads. Back in the stage, Hirvonen is still on the attack, hoping to maintain the promising pace he showed in the early kilometres. Just the last few corners to negotiate now. This could be another good performance. Yes, 2.1 seconds quicker. It might not seem much, but every little helps at this stage. Loeb's overall advantage is down to 22.9.
It's not enough, but that's all I could do. That was absolutely the limit. Tires might be a little bit tracked now, but I'll try it. We'll see how the next two goes now, where I lost in the morning, so we'll see how it works there.
Petter Solberg too is giving his all as he puts in a damage limitation exercise. It could have been a lot worse though. He only loses 4.4 seconds to Sordo despite his off.
6 left down long, tightness of it, just like right to 150.
So a glimmer of hope for Mikko Hirvonen with Loeb's lead reduced to 22.9 seconds. Seb is already into the final two stages of day two. And in a similar pattern to the morning loop, Loeb manages to better the four-man again in Krikken. It's been a champion's display of driving on this second day. Hirvonen is still right on the limit, but he had concerns of excessive tyre wear after his efforts in stage 10. In the second run through halfway though, Mikko is slower again. He frustratingly loses another couple of seconds to Loeb. Mikko will end the day over 30 seconds behind. Dani Sordo, meanwhile, is relishing his fight with one of the most talented drivers in the sport. He's beaten by Petter Solberg in stage 11, but unwilling to relinquish his hold on third, Dani gets the better of Petter on the day's final stage. Still, in a rather lonely fifth place is Sébastien Ogier. He's found a bit more confidence this afternoon with the weather improving slightly. He's been able to push a bit harder. And Ogier's improved pace looks to be enough to end Henning Solberg's hopes of getting back on terms with the talented Frenchman. The Norwegian was further hampered by failing windscreen wipers earlier, and he's over a minute adrift by the end of the day. Still in 7th, meanwhile, is Henning Stobart VK Ford teammate Matt Wilson. The local star's position looks reasonably secure, but he does have a fired-up Jari-Matti Latvala closing steadily with every passing stage. Driveshaft problems have ruined Jari-Matti's chances of fighting for victory, but Ford's number 2 has shown impressive pace today. He's made up around 2 minutes overall on Wilson since the first stage of day 2. Conrad Rautenbach had been running in the points at the start of the day until being passed by the fired-up Latvala. The Citroën Junior man is still in 9th despite a spin and a stall in stage 7. Khaled Al-Qasimi has had to restart after a driveshaft failure on day 1. Way down on time following his penalties for the stages he missed, the Abu Dhabi Tourism Authority-backed driver is focused on surviving these horrendous conditions. Mats Osberg has also rejoined today, but the Subaru privateer's return to action didn't last long. Losing control in stage 10, he ploughs into the Welsh undergrowth, indication how quickly it can all go wrong in Wales. So things are looking bleak for Hirvonen, and he now has just the 4 stages of day 3 to overhaul his half-a-minute deficit on Loeb. Sordo's 3rd place could still come under threat from Petter Solberg, while Ogier looks safe in 5th. It's never over until it's over, of course, and Rally GB has a history of throwing up the unexpected. Highlights from day 3 coming up after the break. Sebastian Loeb looks to have one hand on the Drivers' Championship with a 30-second lead over his rival Mikko Hirvonen going into the final day. This has been an epic battle, but the 2009 season has not just been about these two. In Evgeny Novikov, we've seen the first Russian driver to regularly participate in the WRC, and he's given us some moments to remember. Sebastian Ogier, like his namesake Loeb, made the step up as JWRC champion, and a podium in Greece suggested he could be a champion of the future. There was a new addition to the calendar in Rally Poland, which proved to be a big hit with thousands of fans lining its super fast stages. The Cyprus Rally saw the return of mixed surface events with a day on the tarmac preceding the rough gravel stages. We also returned to Australia, but at a new location in New South Wales. The contribution of the local community to make this event happen was recognised through the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally Award, which, as well as rewarding outstanding performances, often rewards those working behind the scenes. The Petter Solberg World Rally Team for their podium finish in Cyprus, and the Norwegian event organisers for their green initiatives were other winners of this prize. We hope to be seeing Petter challenging for the title next, but it's already confirmed that Sebastian Loeb will still be driving the Citroën C4 in the WRC next year, and we know whatever happens this year, he will be renewing his rivalry with Mikko Hirvonen in the Ford Focus, and they could yet be joined by some famous names from the history of the WRC with interest from a number of manufacturers. And those cars will all be on Pirelli tyres. After a second successful season, the Italian company will continue as the supplier of the WRC control tyre next year.
It's following on from the success of last year, where I think we demonstrated that we provided products that worked in all conditions. I think this year again, we've had minimal problems, and I think everyone's pretty happy. Because the events are roughly the same, it's just been a prolongation, if you like, of our experience from last year. We've, I suppose, perfected the run flat technology that we had to bring in for the WRC, and it's proven again in tough conditions that we're on the right route and we're providing a great product.
And the WRC's future will be overseen by Jean Todt, who on Friday was elected as the new president of the FIA. So the final day of the 2009 season involves 2 runs through the Port Talbot and Raiola stages. Raiola is the longest test at 22.5 kilometres, and this includes the famous Walters Arena spectator section. All that means just under 80 competitive kilometres to go. So to the final act of this enthralling title race then, Loeb begins as the overwhelming favourite to continue his reign as world champion. He begins the last morning with a healthy lead of half a minute. Sebastian on his way into the 17-kilometre Port Talbot stage, and remember, he just needs to finish ahead of Hirvonen to secure the driver's title. If it stays like this, Loeb would win the championship by 1 point. After after a less than convincing run on the second day. Mikko Hirvonen needs to put in one of the drives of his life to keep the pressure on the rally leader. Oh, he's absolutely on the limit. A wild moment there from Ford's number one. And another close call. He's right on the ragged edge, but has it been enough to make any inroads into Loeb's advantage? Seb will be closely monitoring Hirvonen's split times, and although he is a little slower in stage 13, he only loses 0.8 of a second. He makes it safely through the first run in Raiola too. Joining Hirvonen now in this 22.5 kilometre stretch of road, and another chance to chip away at Loeb's advantage. He's really pushing again here, and he could take a fair bit of time back. Well, that was a terrific effort from Mikko. He's 11.2 seconds quicker. A possible problem for the world champion, perhaps. Dani Sordo is still running in third, although, as expected, he's coming under a bit of pressure from Petter Solberg on this final morning. By the end of stage 14, Dani is less than 15 seconds ahead. Jari-Matti Latvala begins stage 13, just over a minute behind Matt Wilson's 7th place. He scored a terrific win in Sardinia, but it's been another inconsistent season for the Finn. And that is another slip-up at the flying finish in Raiola, a scary moment for the 24-year-old. Latvala got going again and maintains 8th, but the big news is that with 40 kilometres to go, Hirvonen has reduced Loeb's lead to 18.2 seconds. An interested spectator to this exciting climax to the season is Harry Potter star Rupert Grint. His brother James is an aspiring rally driver, and they're stateside to watch the action unfold on the second run through Port Talbot. If Hirvonen can keep up the same momentum, we could have an extremely close finish to this championship race. But that was a heavy landing. It's dislodged his bonnet and is starting to limit his vision. The rain beginning to fall heavily now as well. Oh no, the top of the bonnet's come loose too. He can see practically nothing, which at these speeds is a terrifying prospect. This is an absolute disaster. Could this incident be the decisive blow to Mikko's championship hopes? Eventually, he's got little choice but to pull over for Jarmo Lehtinen to jump out and rip it off. Taking another look, he overcooks it over Port Talbot's famous jump, and that nose-heavy landing has done the damage. The bonnet is off and Jarmo's quickly back in the car, but in all it's cost the Finnish crew around a minute, and I'm afraid that could be that for Mikko's title dream. Loeb will be aware that his rivals finally hit problems after this nip-and-tuck battle. Seb finishes the stage, and with the team passing on the information about Mikko's misfortune, he'll know that with just one stage remaining, the championship is within his grasp.
We have a little problem since the morning with a turbo, so I don't have the response I should have. I prefer not to tell anything, and I'm quite happy. Really good for the moment.
Back in the stage, a disconsolate Hirvonen minus his bonnet pushes on to the stage finish, but the damage has already been done. He's a minute and 7 seconds slower than Loeb and almost loses second place to Sordo. It looks like game over for his title ambitions for another year.
Mikko, the look says it all. There's no bonnet. We heard the reports on the stage. It's going to take a miracle now.
Yeah, now it's gonna. Now we need a miracle, but I'll try it. I tried as hard as I could today, but you know, we'll see. We will do that last stage now, and let's see what happens.
Minding his own business in 5th is Sébastien Ogier. Oh! A massive roll on the penultimate stage at these terrifying speeds. Even the most talented of drivers are living life on the edge, but that is a frustrating way to finish his year. Rupert Grint and his brother still enjoying the action. The second run through Port Talbot proving one of the most dramatic of the weekend. Ogier Zoffs provided a welcome boost up the standings for Henning Solberg, who replaces the Frenchman in 5th. And Henning Stobart VK Ford teammate Matt Wilson is another beneficiary. The leading British driver is now into the top 6. The late nightmare for Hirvonen leaves Sebastian Loeb on the brink. He takes a lead of almost a minute and a half into the final stage, but will there be any more twists in the final 22.5 kilometres of the season? Petter Solberg has continued to chase down Danny Sordo on this final day. The Norwegian has looked back to his best in the C4 in these last 2 rallies. Who knows what he could achieve given a full season next year. He begins the final stage just under 18 seconds behind the man in 3rd. Ultimately though, Sordo has done just enough to hold on for his 7th podium of what's been a terrific season for Citroen's number 2. The Spaniard could yet finish in style by snatching 2nd place from Hirvonen. Mikko has put in a terrific effort in the second half of the season to give himself this championship chance, but it looks as though he's going to fall just short. Heartbreakingly for Hirvonen, Citroen have calculated Loeb's turbo problems could have taken the battle down to the last kilometre. He should secure 2nd though. Yes, he beats Sordo by 1 second, but it looks like Ford's long wait for a driver's title will last a little longer.
I lost the rally maybe yesterday, but I just couldn't find speed on those 2 stages, so you know, I just need to go back to work and try to find more speed for next year.
What could have been a nervous last few kilometres has become a lot more relaxed for Loeb meanwhile. The turbo problem will be a concern, but he should be able to make it through the stage. The world champion has faced one of the toughest challenges to his reign as the sport's top driver, but despite his mid-season wobble, ultimately Sebastian wouldn't be denied his unprecedented 6th world title. Loeb and co-driver Daniel Elena claimed their 2nd consecutive win in Britain, and once again, they are the champions.
Sebastian Loeb, Rally GB winner and now 6 times World Rally Champion. But this has been the toughest one.
Yeah, for sure. It's has been an incredible season. Very good start, and then we lost everything in the middle of the season, and we arrived here with 1 point behind Mikko. Finally we've done it, but it was big pressure, and really happy for this one because Mikko is really strong, and so it was an incredible battle all the season.
Loeb claims that crucial 54th career victory by a margin of just over a minute, with Hirvonen hanging on to the runner-up spot by just 1 second. Danny Sordo's 3rd, Petter Solberg's 4th, and with Loeb claiming 10 points to Hirvonen's 8, that means he is the 2009 WRC Drivers' Champion.
A few words about Sebastian, an amazing 6th driver's title for him.
Yeah, because it has been very difficult since Finland, and we had to finish all the race, especially in Spain. We had to do 1st and 2nd to be in the race here, and we did it. And then here we have to finish before Mikko. We knew that means we have to win Wales, and Seb did it again, and 54 for him. It's incredible.
How important are these 2 titles to Citroen this year?
They're incredibly important for the brand. The automotive sports and the WRC are really associated to Citroën, an integral part of the brand, and therefore it's extremely important. But it's important when we win, and today we won the constructors' title and the driver's title, so it's wonderful.
I had to push until the end because Mikko was pushing very hard behind, so yeah, it was one of the most difficult rally day of my life.
The battle continues.
Yeah, good.
I know that Mikko will go away from here, and as always, he will come back stronger than ever. I know that those 2 stages yesterday have really hurt him, and there's one thing for sure, as he always does, he will learn from that, and as I say, he will definitely come back even stronger in 2010.
And there is the confirmation. Loeb finishing the season on 93 points to Hirvonen's 92. It was that close. Danny Sordo taking 3rd spot for Citroen. And of course, Citroën have already claimed the manufacturer's crown. Their final points tally 167 to Ford's 140. The last prize of the season, the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally Award, goes to the Stobart VK Ford team in recognition of their fundraising for injured British servicemen and women through their support of the Help for Heroes charity. This season may be coming to an end, but preparations for 2010 will start right away, and you can keep up to date with all the news at WRC.com, where you'll also get the chance to win some great WRC memorabilia and test your rally knowledge in the end of season quiz. So that's it for 2009, where yet again Sebastian Loeb, Daniel Elena and Citroën have proved themselves the team to beat.
Such successful pairing of Sebastian Loeb. There's the team, there's the picture. Well done to Citroën, well done to Sebastian Loeb.
Make sure you join us for more great WRC action in 2010, but we'll leave you with some of the best moments from this year.
Citroën